This is the simply gorgeous Amiga 500++ I recently built. The inside is just as lovely as the outside with its purple and gold parts. But this bit is not purple or gold. What we're looking at here is the keyboard PCB, and when I mentioned this in the previous build video, I was told I should talk to Rob Peepo Taylor, the creator of the motherboard inside this machine and many others besides. I messaged Rob and asked if he happened to have a keyboard PCB in purple, and amazingly he did. He sent it over and here it is. So this video is about getting rid of the green bits in this Amiga and making everything match the colour scheme. I'll be salvaging most of the parts from this original board and moving them onto the new one as carefully as I can. My Hakko makes very light work of this. The solder seems to be leaded already and the board is not particularly thick. That's the wires out of the way. I've taken photos to remind me which order they go back in. I'm going right for the big chip first. Some of the legs are flattened against the board, making it tricky to get the desoldering nozzle onto them. The flat end of my soldering iron is useful to lift these up, but you have to be careful. It's very easy to slip. Whoops. A wiggle with some tweezers. It all feels very loose and free. Yep, out it comes. No problem at all. I could get drastic and use a hot air gun to speed this process up. I don't need this board to survive, but that doesn't mean I want to destroy it along the way. This blue thing is a crystal. Its legs are also flat to the board. It's sometimes easier to wiggle them into the nozzle and straighten them that way, but it can be easy to damage the board if you're not careful. Probably the most delicate part on here is the keyboard membrane connector. I've no idea if these are still available to buy new, and I don't really want to find out, so I'm going super careful here and removing the solder by moving around the various points, reducing the risk of melting the plastic on the other side. And again, it pops right off the board. No sign of melting. Bonus! A couple of logic chips next. They come off the board without issue. There's a handful of electrolytic caps which I'll remove and test in my component tester. All but one of these tested better than the new spares I had in stock, so all the good ones will be going back into the new board. Vintage caps are often very good quality, even after all these years. One of the originals tested slightly high in ESR and I have a good quality replacement for that one. I better get started putting the components in the new board. As with the 500++ build, I won't be salvaging the cheap to replace resistors. New ones will just be easier and quicker to install. All of the values are marked on the new board, something I really like about this type of build. It makes a big difference not having to check a schematic or other paperwork and doesn't get in the way of the pleasure you get from making something like this. I have a KIM 1 to build soon, and as that is an authentic replica board, apart from the one I'll be building is purple, the creator Dave Williams of Devilish Designs decided to go without any silkscreen markings at all. Brave man, Dave. I'm looking forward to that one. It looks like a nice challenge. Annoyingly, I've put one resistor in the wrong place, so out that comes. One of the resistors is a different colour. I'm trying not to let that trigger me. Resistors done. What's next then? Capacitors, the ceramic ones. Again, these are new ones from my stock. Just because it's easier, it makes very little difference to the overall appearance. These are the remaining passives to be installed. A couple of transistors, the crystal, and the electrolytic caps, including the new one. I switched to my PCB holder for these to give me a bit more control. Now that there are components of various heights on the board, it's much harder to hold the one I'm working on in place by just laying it on the bench. Blu Tack will be holding all of the components in place from now. The logic chips are going back in their places now. I tested all of these out of the board and am happy to install them without sockets. The 555 timer here is new. I have a load of these, so it's saving me having to desolder the old one. I'm putting the main 6570 microcontroller chip in a socket. There's plenty of room and it just makes a bit more sense doing this, just in case there's a problem with it in the future. You never know. And now for the membrane connector. Again, making sure to move the heat around. The LEDs are next. I removed the solder from the two legs previously, but left one leg attached so I'd know which way round they go and which one is which. Heating up the still attached leg with my soldering iron, it's very easy to remove and place it in the new board. Whilst the other one is still in the original board, I can use that as a reference for the height. And all that's left now is to put the wires back in the right holes. Fortunately, I took plenty of photos along the way and can follow those to get this right the first time. Well, mostly right. That green one is in the wrong hole. There we go. Finished. It looks lovely. I hope it works. Andy from Hack Build Restore YouTube channel sent me a few bits to go with this Amiga, as well as kindly swapping his black Terrible Fire accelerator. These purple cable ties are ideal for this build, replacing the black one I cut off when taking this apart. And it's a good job he sent too, as I've now put the wires in the wrong place. There's the wasted one. That's enough screws for testing. Let's see if this still works. Perfect. It's always a worry when you take things apart completely and put them back together again. Something else that Andy sent over were some stickers he made up for all of the custom chips inside this machine. There are also some for the outside of the case, but I think I'll just include those with the machine and let the eventual owner decide if they want them stuck on or not. I'm not 100% sure if the adhesive will react with the transparent plastic, so I don't want to risk damage at this stage. I'm so happy with the end result. It looks fantastic, or it would. That RAM expansion doesn't exactly fit in with the colour scheme. I used some of the Ko-fi donation pot to purchase a purple A500 trapdoor expansion. There's quite a bit of flux on the solder points on the back of the board. That's going to be visible in this machine, so I need to deal with that. Some Repairy McRepair Face PCB cleaner. That's not a brand, it's the nice person that sent it to me. Yep, that looks a whole lot better. What a lovely machine this is now. Now, I have one confession to make. When I did the unboxing of this crystal case, I managed to lose the side expansion port cover. I've contacted A1200.net and unfortunately they don't have any of these for sale. They did forward my request to Phil at A1200, who might possibly still have some of the prototypes around, and he's going to look into this for me. Fingers crossed. I'll keep you updated if this is successful. For now I have to put this original cover in here, and I have to say it really shocked me just how well this fits in here. It goes to show how accurately these cases are made. I believe the crystal cases are still in limited stock, but I know that once those are gone, there'll never be any more of this run of cases. The moulds used to make these have been chemically treated to give the original textured finish so that replica black and Commodore beige cases can be made. Well, there isn't anything more we can do to this machine, but there's one more thing we can add to it. We already have the mouse, and I'll be building a modern power supply for this bundle at some point soon. But what about a joystick? I could throw in a Zipstick or this very subdued PowerPlay Cruiser. Either of those would be a good choice, but one of the donations I received early on when things were just starting up this year was a joystick from my friend 8-Bit Ross. This is a Retro Radionics Arcadar joystick, and as you can see, it's transparent. Perfect! It's brand new and unused with all of the bits still in the bag here. I don't know a lot about this stick, but Mark Fix's Stuff did a video a while back on them and he seemed to like how moddable they are. A final test before I box this up, ready to be sold. Another thing Andy supplied is an operating system which he sent on SD card. It has the basics already installed with Directory Opus, WHD Load and a couple of games. It also has a rather fetching backdrop. You can buy this amazing machine and all of the bits with it when it gets auctioned off on the 19th of October. The money raised from this and many other Commodore machines up for sale that day will raise money for the befriending scheme. Last year we raised £15,000, which I'm told was put to great use throughout the different things the scheme does for people with additional needs in this area. I know some of it was used to provide raised beds on the Red Rose Community Farm, which is where my own son Thomas goes 3 times a week. On the farm, Thomas is able to take part in many worthy activities. He especially likes to feed the many different animals. His favourites are Del Boy and Rodney the goats. He also is able to maintain amazing friendships with his pals on the farm. This year, the money we aim to raise will be used to purchase and house miniature donkeys, which I personally think is one of the best things you can do with money. Donkeys are just about everyone's favourite farm animal, and miniature ones can only be better. It'll be a massive amount of money to raise, and far, far beyond what I thought was possible. But if we don't try, we won't ever know. So please give even a small amount if you're able to. The best way to do that will be to go to the justgiving.com/page/MFMI 2024. Another way to find the link is to go to my website morefunmakingit.co.uk and click on the link to this year's charity event. On the 19th of October, I'll be hosting a 12-hour marathon for me live stream joined by special guests from around the world of retro and vintage tech. More details will follow in future updates here and on my second channel. Plans are still in the making. It's going to be messy and chaotic with multiple people joining me in each hour throughout the day. And auctions will be set to finish at various points so we can see the money rolling in together. And other YouTubers from around the world will be selling their own items on that day too. We already have Polymat in the US along with yet another retro channel Todd, with some C64 goodness, and down in Aussieland the lovely Jason, who we affectionately know as Mr. Lurch, is selling something cool. He's promised to twist Mark from the Retro Channel's arm to get him to sell something too. There are also various channels here in the UK running their own auctions, and more details on those will follow soon. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and watch some more of my stuff. Bye! 10,000! Way! Didn't turn off.